Yeah, hi, this is Ed Brendiger, Circle of Impact Leadership, coming back to you again to talk about another aspect of what I see as managing the world that we're in and this life that we have in a time of uncertainty. And today I want to talk about trust, because I think that trust is an issue, and I think there's a lot of reason why it is difficult to trust the circumstances that we're in. I don't think we have adequate information. I'm not convinced that the people who are presenting information to us have a broad enough perspective on circumstances where they are able to have their own minds changed. I think there's a lot of agendas that are being presented to us that, particularly because it's a presidential election year, which causes everything to be biased and not absolutely trustworthy. And that's a problem. And so if we can't trust the information that we're receiving, either because it's inadequate or not sufficient, or it's biased, then where do we turn to find trust so that we feel comfortable and secure in ourselves? I think it begins by talking about values. I think we have to be really clear about what it is that we value and what we believe in. And when I talk about this in doing Circle of Impact training, and I talk about this in the book, it's that these values are bedrock to us. They're the foundation of our lives. And when you're convinced of the values that you have, then they become non-negotiable. And that means you're willing to sacrifice in order for those values to remain true in your life. And that's a difficult thing when the social pressure to conform to whatever is today's form of conformity, that's a really difficult thing. So I'm really talking about having a really clear sense of who you are. This is our self-awareness really is important during a time of uncertainty. And it all begins with our values. But it doesn't end with values as some kind of an idea in our head. It's how we live. And more than anything, where we live is in relationship with people. And so it's important for us to have conversations about what we believe and what we value with the people that matter to us. So we're talking, first of all, of being clear about our personal values, but it's also important for our families to have this conversation. Because one of the things I see taking place is that, okay, families are dispersed normally. You know, they get up, they get breakfast, they go to school, they go to work, they're doing things, they're going to sports events, they're playing ball, they're doing all kinds of different things. And when they're actually all together as one is actually a fairly rare occurrence. I remember when my daughter was in high school, in junior high, and we would drive at 5 in the morning to swim practice. And those were special times because the rest of the day we never saw each other. So now families are all together in the home. They're sheltering in place. And so now they have all kinds of time. And I think it's really important for families to have a conversation about what each person values and what they believe so that you can negotiate how you are going to manage your relationships when you're sheltering in place in the same place all the time. We're also talking about work in business. If you are head of a business, if you're a CEO or a general manager or a executive director or a business owner, I think this is a really critical time for you. And it's not just about the finances. In fact, I think there is an opportunity embedded in this crisis where your people are all dispersed and they're isolated to change some of the behavior patterns that have possibly grown up. So let me describe it in this way. What I see in organizational structures is a thing that I call a persistent residual culture of values. It is a culture which persists because of what the people believe, and it resides in their relationships with one another. And I believe this is what defines a business more than its business plan, more than all these other things that are written out and we post and market and that sort of thing. I think it's the relationships that people have in a business based on the values that they share together, which constitutes the core of that business. So if your people are used to being together and now they're not, they're dispersed all over the place, then here as the head of your business, this is what you need to do. You need to be really clear about your values and talk about this with them every day. Have a 5-minute call with them every day where you talk about, this is who we are, this is what's important, this is why we're doing what we're doing. And I'm grateful for the work that you're doing, and thank you. And let's hold together, and I'll see you tomorrow. And that's going to strengthen your relationships, because what you're doing is you're validating their contribution to your business by celebrating the values that you hold as a company. This is the kind of work that I do. This is what I want to see happen in many places. This is what I was planning to do when I returned home at the end of February from Africa. I was planning to go back in May. Well, that's not going to happen. When is it going to happen? I don't know. 6 months down the road. And so now what we do is we shift. Instead of doing this kind of work face-to-face, now we do it online. So if you want, as a business owner or a head of a business, to have more conversation with your people about what you value, and you need some help doing that, then reach out to me, ed@edbreniger.com, or you can go find me through my website, edbreniger.com, and let's have a conversation and see what we can do to build an environment online for your people so that they feel really connected and they feel affirmed and validated in the work they do. That's true for work, it's true for family, and it's true for you. I mean, you need to have that same sense of affirmation that who you are is important. And when you're able to say, this is what I believe in, and this is what's important to me, then you're gonna be able to deal with the uncertainties that come with this huge pandemic crisis. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. This is Ed Breniger. I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.